Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and I want to welcome you to another review of Co-Parenting with the Sperlings. This is going to be a review of season 2, episode 2, The Diamond Lady. So this episode was interesting, as they all are. In this particular episode, Dennis invites Stephanie to a video music shoot. It becomes apparent rather quickly that Stephanie doesn't like Dennis's brand of music. She doesn't really like the lyrics. It seems to take her to a negative emotional space for whatever reason. And because we don't know certain details, or I guess certain nuances, we don't know why it takes her to those spaces. But she did mention the sexual nature of some of his lyrics. And I think that makes her uncomfortable, particularly because he's not necessarily talking about her. That's just my opinion. Because he's not necessarily talking about her sexually, and he's maybe referring to other women. These may not necessarily be particular women, specific women that he knows, but just women in general. You know how men write lyrics and they're referring to just a woman. And so I don't know that she really likes that part of it. I think she feels away because Dennis is her ex, and I think it's hard for her to, even at the time of the filming of this show, for her to think of him with other women. I think that's probably still a little touchy for her. As a side note that I made with this particular episode, at the time of filming, because I don't feel like it's the current thing going on today, but this was filmed a few years ago. And I think at the time of filming the show, I think that Dennis still invites Stephanie to his personal spaces. Um, because I think that sometimes when you are an ex and that person did not do anything that was like unforgivable to you, and you didn't do anything unforgivable to them, like ultimate betrayals and things of that nature, where it's like, I would never do that again. I think sometimes exes think about, what if, you know, what if we gave this another chance? And I think sometimes inviting each other to those personal spaces are almost like a testing ground, just to see, did certain things change? Are they still the same? Are these still the same dynamics? If I bring you into this situation and in that situation, am I going to revisit the old stuff? Or is there going to be growth here, or positively or negative changes? I don't know. And I think sometimes in this particular case, that he invites her to personal spaces to sort of see whether or not there's going to be a difference. And I could be wrong, but I don't think that I am. Well, I think the most interesting part of this wasn't even about the music video and their interaction. I think it was Stephanie visiting the therapist. And she was talking about how she wanted her kids to see the star in their mother like they see the star in their father. And she wanted her kids to see her strength, which is why she goes so hard. And in her trying to explain to the therapist that she's really competing with Dennis for their children's perspective of her. I think she wants them to see her like they see him. And where she's got that kind of messed up is she's approaching it from like the professional standpoint. Well, I want them to see that their mother can have this professional thing going, and that she can have business like their father has business, and all of these things, and she can do all of these other things, and that her children will respect her for the things that she does in that role or in that world. What I don't think Stephanie's understanding here is that her being a good mother to them, whether she had a profession, a career, a business, an organization, or whatever, regardless of that, they would respect her to the same degree for being a good mother to them and being a good role model to them that they respect Dennis for being a businessman, and seeing him be strong and seeing him be a strong man and father. Women still sometimes don't get that their femininity, their role of nurturing, that it actually wins them so much, not only from romantic interest, but also their children. Children, when they have a good mother, regardless of whether she had career or money or status, if she was good to them, truly good to them, truly nurtured them, truly felt that she loved them and had their back and had their best interest in heart, and she did everything that she could possibly do, and she would sacrifice anything for them, that is what makes them respect. That is what makes them honor a mother. That's her greatness. Not competing with Dennis so that her children can see her as great. Her sons will see her as great because she's a great mom. And I do get the feeling that Stephanie tries her best to be a good mom. That is what her children will understand. And that's what will make them respect and honor her always. Also, one of the things in this episode at the end, Dennis buys Stephanie a ring, but not an engagement ring, not a ring to get back together, but buys her a ring to sort of make sure that she knows that he feels positively about her, if that makes sense. Like, she doesn't give him the kind of grief that a woman could give a man in this situation. She really doesn't. She has her moments where I critique it, but in the grand scheme of things, the way we see these hyenas operating, she's not operating like that at all with him, which is what allows them to co-parent. It's not perfect. She does her thing, right? But at the same time, she's not going so far overboard with it to where it makes a co-parenting situation untenable or unsustainable or nearly impossible with her. She doesn't seem to be going into that, like, that evil diabolical area. You know what I'm saying? With it, like a lot of women do. A lot of women do that. And she doesn't do that. And I think that that's where this concept of the ring, and then there's other things. We're going to revisit it in the review of we're gonna revisit it in the review of his latest episode, Miss Bling Bling. I'm gonna go further into the concept behind that ring and why he gives it to her and why he packages it along with the children so that they can kind of see him honor their mother, regardless of the fact that she's no longer his wife. And it was an interesting dynamic that he was trying to, or thing that he was trying to express to her. It's almost difficult to express something platonic with somebody you've had romance with. And that's sort of what that is. Like, let me platonically honor you as a awesome mother to my children, minus the sexual or romantic or emotional reconnection. So I'm not trying to get back with you. Although, you know what, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to save it for the next review. As usual, the link to this episode is going to be in the description box. So definitely go ahead and subscribe to Dennis Sperling's channel so that you can make sure that you catch each and every episode every Thursday evening. All right. Subscribe to his channel, support the positivity of this show. Also, don't forget to jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.